So hello guys, I hope I'm audible. Let me check once, then we can continue with our lecture. So today's lecture is very important because yesterday we have covered like things like the union executive and state executive. So today is the day we are going to cover the one of the most important part of the executive part of the our Indian Constitution. It is really important, as you know that. So today we are going to cover the part 5 of the Constitution. Yesterday we have covered parliament and this kind of thing. So there was something left. We will cover also that and things such as like some things are left. So we will cover. Listen, yesterday we were not able to cover it properly. So today I'm going to cover the freedom first side. Yeah. So today we can cover the Prime Minister and the Council of Minister and up till the last of the Union Executive Article 148. Okay. So please be with me. I will be teaching you today. So I welcome you all to today's lecture. I'm a host and host Adarsh Singh. So let us begin with the lecture. So let us check. So now I will open my podcast. Where is it? Say? So then चलिए ऐसे ही शुरू करते हैं. Let us start with this thing because उसमें ऐसा कुछ जरूरी नहीं है. So firstly let me collect a pencil, then we can continue with our lecture. Okay. या भी लिखा रहा गाड़ी पे VIP नंबर कार. So now coming on to the Article 74, what does it tell? So Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers is covered from Article 74 to 78. It is really important to cover this part. Coming on to the Council of Ministers to aid and advise the President. Article 74(1) says that there shall be a Council of Ministers with the Prime Minister as head and aid and advise the President. Okay, it generally tells that there shall be a Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister to aid and advise. Okay. So the Prime Minister is known as real de facto head of the government and President is de jure. Okay. Now 42nd Constitution, what is 42nd Constitutional Amendment? So 42nd Constitutional Amendment says that the advice is the bounding on the President, but when 44th Constitutional Amendment happened, it said that the President can return one time and give his suggestion to the Council of Ministers. But after that, if recommendations are accepted, then he will pass it. But if even though it is not accepted, then he has to pass it. Okay. Article 74 clause 2. The question whether any forceful advice was tendered by the minister of the president shall not be inquired by any court. Okay. Article 75 coming. So Article 74 2 says that so the advice that was given by the Council of Ministers to the President shall not be inquired in any court. Okay. Article 75, other provision as to the minister. Article 75(1), the Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President and the other ministers shall be appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. Okay. So it tells about the appointment of the ministers. So first one tells about there shall be a Council of Ministers, and Article 75 tells us there shall be like appointed by the president and other ministers shall be appointed by the president on the advice of the prime minister. Okay. 91st Amendment 2003 added two subclauses 75(1). Okay. So 75(1)(a), the total number of ministers including the prime minister shall not exceed 15%. Okay. So what does it tell us? Like there was one amendment in 2003, that was 91st Constitutional Amendment. It told the strength of the ministers that will be in the cabinet will not be more than the 15%. There is some exceptions like Delhi where 20% limit is set. Okay. Article 71 Part B. If any member is disqualified on the ground of defection, we know that there was 67th constitutional amendment, and there was this 91st constitutional amendment. These two are related to 51st constitutional amendment is related to the defection, I think. So these are related to the defection. So time to minister hold the office to the pleasure of the council of ministers collectively responsible to the House of People, Lok Sabha. Article 75 4. Before entering the office, Prime Minister and Minister must take and secrecy administered by the President. Article 75 Clause 5. A minister who is not a member of either house of the parliament for 6 consecutive months shall cease to be a minister at the end of that period. Okay. Salaries and allowances of the minister are determined by parliament until the parliament fixes that it shall be specified in the second schedule. Okay. There are types of minister like cabinet minister. Like cabinet minister are those who have some portfolio regarding like home minister, defense minister, this kind of thing. Minister of state are lower than the cabinet minister, and they handle the portfolios, but they have lesser power than the cabinet minister. They assist generally the cabinet minister. Deputy minister are, they assist the cabinet minister and the minister of state. Okay. Now coming on to the Article 76, Attorney General of India, highest law officer of India. Who is current Attorney General? He is R. Venkatramani. Okay. And talking about the 76 clause 1. Okay, the president shall appoint a person who is qualified to judge a Supreme Court to be Attorney General of India. Okay, what is the qualification of the Attorney General of India? He should be able to be the judge of the Supreme Court. Or Supreme Court, what is the qualification of the Supreme Court judge? He should have minimum tenure of 10 years in the High Court. Okay. He should have acted as a 5 year in the High Court or Supreme Court. If I am mentioning High Court, then Supreme Court already covers it. Or he can be a distinguished jurist in the eyes of the president. Article 76 Part 2, duty to give advice to the government India upon legal matter, Attorney General. Okay. Article 76 3. Attorney General has right to audience in the each house of the parliament, but he has no right to vote. Attorney General holds the office of the pleasure of the president, receives enumeration based. He is not full-time counsel of the government. कौन सा? Like deputy minister. He is not debarred from the private legal practice, ceasing to the hold. Okay. First Attorney General MC Setalvad, current is R. Venkatramani. He is the highest law. Solicitor General is there to assist the Attorney General of India. Okay, the Solicitor General of India, second highest law. Currently, he is Tushar Mehta. Generally, his term is 3 years, but it is appointed by the ACC, which is chaired by the Prime Minister of India. Okay, assist Attorney General, but is not constitutional post. Okay, current Sir Tushar Mehta. Now coming on to the Advocate General, which is similar to the Attorney General. Advocate General is for the state, appointed by the governor, must be qualified to be the judge of the High Court. Okay, duty is to advise the state government on legal matter. Okay, holds office exactly. इसमें governor change कर देना उसमें state, and things can be like chief minister or prime minister. This way you can do dissolution of the council of minister. If any member of the council of minister resigns, removed, then a vacancy is created. If the prime minister dies or removes, whole cabinet has to reshuffle, and whole council of minister is dissolved. In that case, entire council of minister has to resign. The president invites a leader with the majority support in the Lok Sabha to become the new PM. Okay, first Indian PM to resign is Morarji Desai. Now coming on to the Rajya Sabha members who became the PM. So Indira Gandhi, Manmohan Singh, SD Devgowda, and he became the prime minister without becoming the union cabinet minister. Okay. So now coming on to the article 77, conduct of business of the government of India. So it tells about the conduct of business. The conduct of business should be done in the Hindi language. All the executive actions of the government shall be taken expressed in the name of president. Okay, remember that. Like the decision will be taken by the council of ministers, but the final authority is to the president, so that if there is any something problem, so that the council of minister can be safe and the and they can impose the blame on the president. Okay. Orders and instrument made in the name of the president shall be authenticated in such manner as specified in the rule by the president. Article 77, Part 3, the president shall make rules for more convenient transaction of the business of the government of India and allocate responsibilities among the ministers. Now coming on to the Article 78. What is the Article 78? Article 78 tells us about the duties of the Prime Minister. So what are the duties of the Prime Minister? Prime Minister has to act as a link between within the Council of Ministers and the President. He has to exchange the things between both of them. So to communicate President all the decision. Okay. 78B, to furnish such information, administration of the union registration as the President may call for. 78C, the President so requires to submit the consideration of the Council of Ministers any matter on which the decision has been taken by the minister which has not been considered by the Council of Ministers. Okay, comments on the post of PM. Collective responsibility can be achieved only through the instrumentality of the PM. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru described Prime Minister as the linchpin of the government. Linchpin means he acts as a connection. Okay. Now coming on to the summarizing the power of and the function of the PM. Advice of the President, recommend dissolution of the Lok Sabha. Okay, announces government policies. Recommends name of the minister, allocates reshuffle portfolios among the, can ask a minister to resign and recommend, presides over council of guides, direct control, coordinates activities of the minister, can cause collapse of the council of minister by resigning. Okay, now Jawaharlal Nehru, he was the longest serving prime ministers. Okay, so he was he he was for the 16 years. Okay, and currently Modi ji is on the second number after surpassing the great Indira Gandhi. And apart from that, Modi ji has highest tenure as a leader. Like for if you count his chief minister tenure and prime minister tenure, then you will see that Modi ji has approximately has the highest number of days he spent in the office. And after him, there is one person, Pawan Kumar Chamling. He is from Sikkim. Atal Bihari Vajpayee served as an initial 13-day term as the Prime Minister. Chaudhary Charan Singh ka shorted sub 170. Chandrasekhar has 7 months. VP Singh 11 months. HD Devgowda, Inder Kumar Gujral 11 months. Okay. Like India had seen really unstable government in the past, especially during the Congress times, and I think it is not good for the government if a government with good intention is winning with full majority. Then it is beneficial for the for the India. But in India, there is one problem that no one thinks about every citizen, every 145 crore people of India. People think about a particular caste, a particular identity, a particular religion. So this is the place. This is the thing that hurts me more because we know that we live together. The things, this kind of thing, we do not experience. But I think if some government want to work on the basic level, like improving the basic infrastructure such as the schools on the top level, and hospitals of the top level, roads are good, and everything is in the lined up, cleanliness is there. So this kind of thing can make India an utopian country. Okay, now coming on to the part 5 of the parliament. So from where we have borrowed the parliament, it is from the Westminster, from the UK. Okay, so Article 79 tells us about the constitution of the parliament. We know that there are two houses and one president. The lower house Lok Sabha, upper house Raj Sabha, and then president we go to, and Lok Sabha, the first sitting of the Lok Sabha was happened in 13 May 1970, 1952, and it was have started in 8th April, 17th April 1952. This is known as the House of the People, and same for the Rajya Sabha. First sitting was on the 13th May 1952 and constitution on the 3rd April. Okay, Council of State, Paramount House. Okay, President is an integral part of the parliament because no bill becomes law without his assent. Okay, Article 80. Article 80 says composition of the Council of State. So who compose the Council of State? There are generally total, there is a capacity of the 250 members. but currently there are only 245, of which 233 are elected and 12 are nominated. Nomination on the basis of literature, science, art, and social service. Okay, 5 seats are vacant for the POK, exciting these kind of areas. And representation in Rajya Sabha, there is a different kind of representation, like uh, in one third member from this thing, one third member of this from this thing. I will tell you after. Okay. So what is the voting procedure? So voting procedure is like that. The MLAs of the particular area will select a representative in the Rajya Sabha. Okay. So what kind of method is follows? Single transferable vote system is followed. Okay. Article 81, it comprises of the House of the People. How is the House of People? How it is the capacity of House of the People? Generally, there is 550 people, but current capacity is generally 543. Okay, and 543, two Anglo-Indians were nominated by the president, but it was abolished due to article constitutional amendment of 104 in 2019. Representation in Lok Sabha. Okay, directly elected by citizen, parity maintained among inter and interstate. Okay, do you know Lok Sabha? Ha, Re- Article 82 is like very important, and it is related to the delimitation commission. What does delimitation commission tells us? What do you mean by delimitation? So it is established after every census of 10 years. President appointed delimitation commission in consultation with the Election Commission of India. Okay. Important delimitation acts are, delimitation commission has to set up 4 times. Okay. अभी तक कितनी बार सेटअप हुआ है? It is set up since 4 times in 1952, 62, 72, and 2002. After that, there was a constitutional amendment act was passed. In 42nd constitutional amendment, seats were constitutional uh, seats were frozen until 2084 constitutional freeze on delimitation commission extended till 2006. 87 constitutional amendment, major adjustment delimitation according to the 2001 census. Delimitation means the act or the process of fixing limits or boundaries of territorial constituency. Duration of houses. What is the duration? Rajya Sabha has duration. No duration. It is a lifetime, but like one third of the member retire every 2 years. So that duration we can say that is generally 6 years for a particular member. Lok Sabha is 5 years. Okay. So 42nd constitutional amendment increased it to the 6 year, but it was later corrected by the 44th constitutional amendment. The president authorized to dissolve the Lok Sabha on the advice of the prime minister. Okay, can be extended national emergency 1 year at a time. Election. Okay, so if there is national emergency, you can increase the tenure of the Lok Sabha by 1 year. Okay, election must be held within 6 months of the end of the emergency. 12th legislative state Lok Sabha has the shortest span in the history. Okay. So qualification for the membership of the parliament. So what is qualification? Must be a citizen of India, must not be insolvent. Okay. Minimum required age is 30 years. Okay. And for Rajya Sabha and 25 years for the Lok Sabha. Other qualification prescribed, like there are some educational thing and these kind of things that are also necessary. Article 85, session of the parliament prorogation dissolution on the advice of the council of ministers. So parliamentary session summoned by the president. Budget session February. There are three generally session that follows budget session or monsoon session and winter session. Okay. So maximum gap between any two session cannot exceed 6 months. Okay. So there are different type of terminologies used for the ending of the session. Okay. So first is prorogation. What is prorogation? It is it ends the session. It is denied the president. Dissolution, formal termination of the current Lok Sabha, like Lok Sabha is dissolved. Okay, by the presiding officer. Adjournment, like for a particular day, you are adjourning. adjourned city die, like you have called up the things, and now it will be decided. uh, so some other parliamentary motion and procedure, there are different kind of motions. The closer motion is a move on by a member to cut short debate on a matter before the house. So what is closer motion? Like if you do not want to debate on any matter, the member, any public or a private member can ask for to end the debate. Okay, call attention motion. It is introduced in the parliament by the member to call the attention of a minister on a matter of public importance. Call attention motion, what is it? Like it is introduced in the parliament in on a matter of public importance. Point of order, what is point of order? It is raised when proceeding of the house do not follow normal rule of the procedure. No debate is allowed on the point of order. Okay. Call attention motion, it is introduced in the parliament by a member to call the attention of a minister on a matter of public importance. Okay. Censure motion, reason must be stated, can be moved against individual, group, or entire council. Okay. To target some specific policies slash action. Okay. If passed, no resignation is required. Okay. No confidence motion. What is it? No reason required. Can be moved against entire council only. Test the majority support of the confidence of Lok Sabha in Council of Minister. Okay. If passed, resignation is mandatory. Okay. What is censure motion? Censure motion is generally like you are criticizing the government and the level of on the shorter level, but in no confidence motion, like you have to prove that you have still have the majority in the parliament, and it really need to be passed. If passed, then we will be terminated. Okay. Call attention motion, it is introduced in the parliament by a member to call attention on a matter of public importance. Point of order, it is raised when proceedings of the house do not follow normal rules of the procedure. Okay. Types of question, there are different kind of questions: starred, unstarred, short notice, 10 day span. So what are the start questions? Start questions are those are the verbal question, not written. Unstarred are those which are required written answer, no supplementary question could follow on this. And starred are those like in which oral question answers are there. Okay. Short notice question, like there is a time limit given on the questions asked. 10-day prior notice should be given. So what is the timing of the session? So session starts, then there is 0 hour. Where question hour, then there is 0 hour. Okay. Question could also be asked to private member, a private member who is not a minister. 0 hour. What is 0 hour? 0 hour is for the discussion of it sets the discussion of the agenda of the day. Okay, what to be discussed? Article 86. Article 86 tells us about the right of president to address and send a message. President can address either house and both houses jointly. President can send a message regarding the pending bills and other matter. What is Article 87? It is a special address by the president. What is a special address? President addresses both the houses into two scenarios. First session after each general election, first session of the each fiscal year. Okay. It is also known as the motion of thanks. What is motion of thanks? Like president will address, and here the people can pass the no confidence motion. Okay. President addresses both the houses in two scenarios. What is special address by the president? President addresses both the houses in two scenarios. First session after each general election, and first session of each fiscal year. It is also known as the motion of thanks. Right of ministers and the attorney general right to speak in either house, but can vote only in the house of which they are a member. Okay. So we know that these are some of the rights of the Attorney General. 88 means equal rights. 87 is special address by the President. When is the special address happen? So first session after each general election and first session after each fiscal year. Okay. Chairman and Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Who is the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha? Vice President of India, ex officio. And who is the Deputy? He is the elected member of the from the ruling party, I would say. So current who is the chairman, and who is the vice chairman of the Rajya Sabha? Please fill in the comment section. Fulfills the duty of the chairman in absence of the chairman. Okay, he is the member of the Rajya Sabha. So Article 90, vacation. Vacation, resignation, removal of the deputy chairman. So resignation of the deputy chairman is given to whom? To the chairman, and chairman to whom? Deputy chairman. Okay. So how can he be removed? By the effective majority of the total membership of the Rajya Sabha. Effective majority is the majority of the total membership of the House vacancies. Okay. House minus vacancies. Okay. Article 91, power of the deputy chairman. So presides in the absence of the chairman. Powers of the deputy chairman. When seats of the chairman and deputy chairman are vacant, the president can appoint any member of the house to discharge the duties of the Rajya Sabha. If the chairman and of the board, then the number of panel of vice chairpersons appointed by the chairman. Besides, this is not expressly mentioned in the Constitution. Article 92. Chairman and deputy chairman do not preside during their removal. Okay. So as we know that there is a chance of biasness, so they will not be presiding. They can participate in the proceeding, but cannot um, preside during their own removal resolution. Like the Speaker Lok Sabha, otherwise the chairman in Rajya Sabha do not vote in the first instance because he is not a member of Rajya Sabha. He can only exercise a casting vote in a case of tie. However, duty of the chairman Rajya Sabha being a member of the house. Vote in the first instance. The case of equality of votes also exercise a casting vote when presiding. P.T. Usha is the first woman to be appointed as the Rajya Sabha panel of the vice chairperson. Article 93, what is it? So, Article 93 is the speaker and the deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay, now coming on to the Lok Sabha. So, elected by the Lok Sabha member by the special majority, simple majority. First speaker is the G.V. Mahalankar. First deputy speaker is the M.A. Iyengar. And first female speaker is the Meera Kumar, 15th speaker. Okay. So who was the first speaker of the Lok Sabha? It was G.V. Mahalankar. And deputy speaker was M.A. Iyengar. And a speaker continues till a new speaker is elected. He does not immediately resign after the dissolution of the and continue till the newly elected Lok Sabha meets. Okay. Date of election of speaker is fixed by the president, and that deputy speaker is fixed by the speaker. Okay. Power to perform duties. Speaker preside when speaker is absent. Okay. Deputy speaker is presides when the speaker is absent. If the seat is vacant, then president can choose the any member to discharge the duty. The speaker and deputy speaker both are absent, then one member of the panel of the chairperson appointed by the speaker presides. Okay. Article 96, speaker and deputy speaker do not preside, as we have seen that he cannot preside. Okay. The speaker right to vote first instance is retained, but has no right to casting vote in the case of tie. Deputy Speaker is not subordinate to the Speaker. Salaries and allowances. Salaries of the Chairman and Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha and Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha are decided by the Parliament. Secretariat of the Parliament, what does it tell? Each house is separate, has its separate secretarial staff. Okay. Like we know that when we become ASO, we get ASO in secretariat. So there are two houses. Then we have to will be moved into. So this is known as the secretarial staff. Secretariat is appointed by the president on the advice of the speaker of the Lok Sabha, chairman and Rajya Sabha. Function of the cabinet secretariat to ensure interministerial. So what is the functions? Ensure interministerial coordination, management of the major crisis, and monitoring policy of the organizing agendas, recording minutes. Article 98, what does it tell? It is the oath and affirmation by the member. Every member of the either house must take oath before taking his seat as administered by the president or the or a person appointed by them. Okay, who is a pro tem speaker? A senior most member appointed temporarily by the president to administer oath to a newly elected member of the Lok Sabha. As soon as oath is administered, the House select a full-time speaker, first pro-time speaker, to be unanimously elected, and the speaker of the Lok Sabha and Somnath Chatterjee. So, Article 100, voting in House and the quorum. So, a minimum number of strength should be required, like quorum should be there to continue the proceeding. So, it was like 1/10 of the total strength of the House should be there to manage the chair, otherwise the chairman will adjourn the meeting. Okay, so chairman shall not vote if in instant exercise casting vote. In the case of tie, quorum did not met, how the is adjourned by the presiding officer. Okay, now coming on to the Article 101 is regarding the vacation of seat. No person shall be member of both the houses of the parliament. Exactly. 101, no person can be member state. Okay. Article 101 Part 3, member can be disqualified mentioned in the Article 102. Article 103A, resign, seat as chairman. So a person, a minister can go to the like chairman and he can give his resignation. If a member of the either house is absent without permission for a period, the house may declare seat vacant. Okay, so if you are absent for 60 days, then your seat can be vacant. Okay, Representation of People's Act 1951. Jail for more than 2 years lead to the disqualification. Now coming on to the 102, disqualification for the membership. A person shall be disqualified for the membership if he should not hold any office of profit. He is of unsound mind. He is insolvent. He is not a citizen of India. He acts against the constitutional things. Okay, or he is like different kind of things are provided. Article 102 Part 2, disqualification under the 10th schedule, defection. Defection, there was one 91st constitutional amendment is there and there is 51st constitutional amendment, so it is related to the defection. So if like he won from the one party but he changed, right now some of the TMC Congress have moved into the BJP. So, why did the defection is not applying to them? Because of the 91st constitutional amendment, it was mentioned that if things happen and two-third of the all party members of the TMC comes to BJP, then there will be no defection imposition on them. What is a whip? Okay, so talking about whip is something like a decision that is given to any person in front of you. What is a whip? If I would say the government, your party will say you have to vote for this cause, then you have to vote for this cause. If you go against it, then the political party can disqualify you. And decision of the speaker is final with regard to the disqualification under the defection. Now coming on to the Kyoto Holohan versus Jechilo case, judiciary can review the final decision of the speaker in case of disqualification under defection. Okay. 103, decision on the question of disqualification. Okay. Decision of the president shall be deemed final if question arises over the disqualification of the any member of the either house other than the defection. Okay. President must obtain opinion of the election commission before giving his final decision. Article 104, penalty for sitting and voting when disqualified or before making an oath or affirmation under Article 99. If any person sits or votes knowing they are disqualified, a penalty of 500 per day is charged for a period of she sat or voted. Okay. So now Article 105 powers, privileges and immunities of the parliament members. 105, they have freedom of speech in the parliament. Okay. No proceeding, no legal proceeding, what is said in the parliament. No MP is liable to say anything on a vote in the parliament. 1053, MP injures protection from the civil courts, for the he gets like if you have done civil crime, then you will get things done. You cannot be arrested right after that. So, and 40 days before the session by parliamentary convention. This protection does not apply to the criminal asset or the preventive decision. Protection of the president from the criminal proceeding, Article 361 and Article 105. Under Article 106, salaries and allowances of the members, Parliament may by law fix salaries allowances of members of the both the houses. Okay, so Parliament will decide their own salary. So it is Article 106. Article 107, introduction and the passage of the bill. Okay, a bill is can originate in the either house. Okay, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Article 107 Part 2, a bill passes if both the houses agree with or without amendment. Article 107 Part 3, bill pending in the parliament does not lapse due to adjournment prorogation of the session. Article 1074, bill lapsing after the dissolution. A bill pending in the Lok Sabha not passed at the time its dissolution lapses. A bill pending in Rajya Sabha which has not passed by the Lok Sabha shall not lapse and on the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. What are the bills? Bills are there are different kind of bill: constitutional amendment bill, financial bill, ordinary bill, and money bill. So public member bill is public member bill. 1 week prior notice should be given, and a private member who is not a minister. Okay, what is 108? Joint sitting of the board of, if there is some stuck in the decision between the two houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, then there can be deadlock. Okay, so joint sitting, a deadlock is created by a bill rejected by the other houses or the house have finally disagreed as to the amendment to be made in the bill. More than 6 months have left since the okay. So bill is rejected, and who presides over Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha, then Rajya Sabha. Okay, a deadlock bill is rejected by the other house or the house have fully disagreed on the amendments to be made in the bill. More than 6 months have been left since the date of the reception of the bill of the other house without being passed. Okay, so in that case, there is deadlock and there may be joint sitting, and it is divided by the president for the joint sitting. Article 102, Speaker of the Lok Sabha preside over the Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha and the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Chairman of the Rajya Sabha cannot preside because he is not the member of both the houses of the parliament. So money bill is constitutional amendment bill, no joint sitting is allowed. Okay. There are two bills. In ordinary bill, there can be only the joint sitting, but in money bill and the constitutional amendment bill, there is no joint sitting provision. Simple majority is needed to pass the bill. Majority of the member present of the meeting. Joint sitting follows the rule of the Lok Sabha. Joint sitting has happened 3 times till now. Dowry banking and prevention of the terrorism bill. Okay, so Dowry Prohibition Bill 1960, Banking Services Commission 1977, and Prevention of the Terrorism Bill 2002. Article 109, Special Procedure for the Mini Bill. So what is the special procedure for the money bill? A money bill it will be decided by the presiding officers of the Lok Sabha, and it can be only introduced in the Lok Sabha. Okay, on the recommendation of the president. Okay, the president has to recommend like whether the money bill is correct or not. Article 109 Part 2. Lok Sabha may accept or reject the Rajya Sabha suggestion. If the Rajya Sabha is not passed by both the houses. So what is the definition of the money bill? A money bill The bill only provision related to the finance, imposition of the tax, regulation of the borrowing, custody of audit of the contingency fund, appropriation of the money of the consolidated fund, declaring any expenditure as charged or consolidated fund. So, like after bill is approved and it is gone to the Rajya Sabha, they have to um, send the recommendation if they want to the Lok Sabha within 14 days. If not, it will be passed automatically. Okay, and Rajya Sabha has no pressure to accept the money. Fund of money, consolidated fund of India, public economy. Though the speaker decision on a money bill is in final way limited to judicial review, as seen Aadhaar case, Kutub Swami case. Okay. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha certifies whether a bill is a money bill or not. Okay. A bill is not considered a money bill if it provides for the imposition of the fine and abolition of the tax by the local authority. Now coming to the assent on the bill, Article 111. So after a bill is passed by the both the houses, the bill is presented to the president. President may give assent and use veto power. There are two options. Like if you are not do not agree with the bill, then you can like reject the bill. Reject not. You can use your veto power. Veto power is the negative power that he can use to stop the bill from passing. A president. It is absolute veto. President rejects the bill completely. This veto was first used by the Dr. Rajendra Prasad or the PEPSU of the Appropriation Bill of the 1954. In 1991, R. Venkatraman exercised absolute veto in the Senate. What is suspensive veto? President return the bill for recommendation. The Parliament passes. Assent is mandatory. Okay, not available in case of money bill. Okay. What is pocket veto? No action is taken by the president. This veto first used by the Gani Jain Singh for the Post Office Amendment Bill 1986. The first pocket veto was used like Gani Jail Singh for the Postal Amendment Bill. Okay. 24th Constitutional Amendment provided no veto can be used in case of the constitutional bill. Okay, pocket of Indian president is deeper than US because no time is mentioned in the constitution for the Indian president to act on the bill. US president has to return the bill in 10 days. Annual financial statement 112, what does it tell? President shall call to be laid before the houses, both the houses, the statement of the estimated expenditure. Indian railway budget is separate. General budget in 1924. So Indian Railway talking about Indian Railway budget was separated by the general budget in 1924. It was separated, and who started the railway budget in 1924? It was the Ackworth Committee. In 2000, you need to remember this. In 2002, 92-year-old practice ended. The finance minister Arun Jaitley presented first merged budget in 2017. First time the merged budget with the rail budget was presented. Okay, Article 113 is the procedure in the Parliament with respect to the estimates. No expenditure from CFI be done except without the authorization of the Parliament. Estimates of the expenditure are divided into the two parts: charged on the consolidated fund of India, made from charged from and made from. Not votable due to salaries of the president, Supreme Court judges, etc. Made from is subject to the vote in the to the demands of the grant. Okay. Only Lok Sabha has right to vote in the demand for grants. Okay. Rajya Sabha can only discuss it. Demand for grants are presented on the behalf of the president. Okay. So if you like, there are two types of, I would say, expenditure divided estimates of the expenditure. So charged on and consolidated, made from a consolidated fund of India. So consolidated fund of India, Article 266, Clause 1. All revenues received by the government of India. Okay, all loans rate, all money received in the repayment of the loan. What is the types of fund? Consolidated, all revenue received by the government of India, all loans raised, all money revised in the. So these things are on the consolidated fund domain, the largest and most important fund. No money can be withdrawn without parliamentary approval. Covers salary scheme, defense, etc. Okay, charged on is related to the salary and made from is subject to the bill. If the member agrees, then they will do it. Okay. Now coming out the appropriation bill. Appropriation bill is introduced and authorized without money bill from the Consolidated Fund of India. No amendment or voting on the appropriation bill amounts. It is passed as a formality of the demands for the grants are voted. Okay. What is cut motion? Moved during the government for the government to show disapproval towards the government. Okay. Policy cut to reduce the amount to rupees 1 to criticize government only. Economy cut reduced by a specified amount to suggest saving. Token cuts reduced by 100 to raise a specific grievance. Okay. So policy cut means reduce the amount to ₹1. टोकन कट, देखो पॉलिसी कट मीन्स हमने पूरी पॉलिसी ही कट कर दी. वी हैव कटेड ओवरऑल द पॉलिसी, बट इन टोकन कट वी आर कटिंग अ लिटिल अमाउंट टू शो दैट गवर्नमेंट दैट योर पॉलिसी इज नॉट गुड एंड वी आर अगेंस्ट इट. सो इन दैट ₹100 amount is subtracted. Okay. Article 115 tells about the supplementary additional access grants. Okay, supplementary grant is granted when the amount authorized by the parliament is okay. Additional grant additional upon some new service. Okay, excess grant is when money spent on the any service amount is excess of the amount granted to the in the budget. Okay. So Article 116, vote on account, vote on credit, and exceptional grants. So what is vote on account? Authorizes the government to withdraw the funds from the Consolidated Fund of India for essential short-term expenditure. Vote on account. Okay. Vote on credit. It deals only with the expenditure on the side of the budget. Vote on credit. Financial grant given to the executive from Indian resources to meet urgent financial need. Details cannot be shared ordinarily in a budget. It acts like a blank check given to the executive by the Lok Sabha. Okay. What is exceptional grant? A special provision made by the parliament used to meet specific expenses not covered under the regular budgetary allocation. Okay. Stages of the enactment of the budget. What are the different stages? Firstly, there is presentation. Under the regular budgetary allocation, vote on credit, a financial guide given to the executive research to meet urgent financial need. Okay, details cannot be shared on ordinarily in the budget. Okay, status presentation, discussion, scrutiny by departmental committee, voting on demands for grant, passing of appropriation bill, passing on the finance bill. What does Article 117 special provision for the finance bill? All money bills are finance bill, but all finance bill are not money bills. Okay. Procedure of the financial bill is same as the ordinary bill. The financial bill can be introduced only Lok Sabha with prior recommendation of the okay. So listen it. Like all money bill are financial bill, but all financial bill are not money bill. Okay. So talking about the vice versa is not true. So Article 118 rules of procedure is also the parliament make rule regulating its procedure and the business. Okay. Article 119 resignation procedure regulation procedure of the financial business. Parliament can regulate laws related to the financial procedure. Language used in the parliament. 120 tells about the language used in the parliament. What is the language? There are two languages that you can use in the parliament is Hindi and English. Unless parliament by law provide English to be removed after 15 years. Presiding officer may allow any member to express themselves in their mother tongue. Article 121 restriction on discussion in the parliament. No discussion shall take place in parliament with respect to the conduct of any judge, Supreme Court of the High Court, okay, or of a High Court. Restriction on the discussion of the parliament. Okay, no discussion shall take place in parliament with respect to conduct of any judge. Okay, so like as you have noticed, you, the parliamentary proceedings are not subject to the legal review. Similarly, all the judicial proceedings that happen in any court is not subject to the discussion in the parliament. So both have provided immunity to each other. Court do not inquire into the proceeding of the parliament. 121 and 122 are like that. They are trade-off. No court should inquiry in the parliament. Conduct of MPs or officers is not subject to the court jurisdiction. Article 123 is the regarding the promulgation of the ordinances during the recess. The president can ordinance for the during the when the session is not in the when session is not happening, president can issue ordinances when houses of even one house is not in the session. Ordinance has same force as an act of the parliament. Okay, must be laid before the both the houses before the approval to cease the operate if not approved within 6 weeks from the reassembly unless approved. Okay, so max life if not approved, what is the max life? It is 6 months and 6 weeks. Okay, can be withdrawn anytime by the president. So Copper v versus Union of India case, the Supreme Court held that the president's satisfaction can be questioned the grounds of the malified. Okay, ordinance should not contain provision beyond parliament legislative competence on the subject of the union list. Okay, ordinance of the power is Article 123 and ordinance power of the governor is 213. Okay. What are the special powers of the Lok Sabha? So Article 312 is there. Parliament can create new all India services, can authorize Parliament to make laws on the subject of the state laws during the time of the emergency. Article 249 says that there are different kind of parliamentary committees. We can discuss them. So Constitution mentioned three committee. These committees are different places where specific regarding the tenor. All these matter dealt with the rules of the two houses. Parliamentary committee is appointed by the Speaker, Chairman, and works on his direction. Classification of the parliamentary committee. There are two committees that are standing and ad hoc committee. So ad hoc committee are the financial committee, and there are generally three committees: public account estimate and committee on public undertaking. So public accounts committee are those established in 1921 through Government of India Act 1919. What are the total members of the Public Accounts Committee? There are 22 members in the Public Account Committee, 15 from the Lok Sabha and 7 from the Rajya Sabha. Okay, guidance philosopher CAG is the head, and he submits the report which are analyzed by the Public Account Committee to examine audit report of the CAG. Estimates Committee. Estimate Committee is established in 1921, and there are 30 members all from the Lok Sabha and re-established in the post establishment in 1950 on the recommendation of the John Mathai Committee. So Government of India Act Public Committee on Public Undertaking in 1964. This is really important. Okay, all these three. So it is on the Krishna Menon Committee. Okay, so total members of again that thing. Chairman is from the Lok Sabha function to examine the both the public accounts. So what are total members are there are 22 members and 15 are from the Lok Sabha and 7 are from the Rajya Sabha. Who on whose recommendation does it come? In the 1964 on the recommendation of the Krishna Menon Committee. Okay. Now coming to the Public Account Committee, it was due to the Government of India Act 1991. It was established in 1921, I would say, and total members are there to 22 and 15, and estimate committee has 30 members, and it was also during the 1991, but after that John Mathai committee recommended to start it, and in 1950 it was started. And how many members are there? There are 30 members, all are from the Lok Sabha estimates committee. Okay, similar feature of the all financial committee: election proportional representation from the single appointed elected on by the house or the nominated of the okay chairman. Term of the members 1 year. No minister can be a member. Important. Okay, only private member. Only private member can be the part of the all these committees, and no minister can be a member. What is ethics committee is responsible for the cases of the misconduct and members of parliament established in the Lok Sabha and Lok Sabha. To moral. Okay, departmental related steering committee total 24. Okay, strength 13. The speaker of the Lok Sabha is the chairman of the business advisory. Deputy speaker where automatically becomes the chair of the committee and member of the okay. So today I think it is sufficient. Thank you so much guys. आप मेरे साथ